Welcome to the Monday Q&A call. I am Kevin T. Robertson, the world's #1 speaker coach on the world's #1 platform for speaker marketing, here with my business partner and co-founder of speakerfocus.com, Auston Troyer. We will be going in, taking questions at the top of the hour. If you want to ask a question, use the raise hand feature, and we will acknowledge you. We will strictly be answering questions today, and we will be going in, answering all the questions about any concerns or things that you have while you are on the Speaker Focus platform. Okay, so if you have a question, let's get it. Let's start from the top. Anybody have a question today? We're going to jump right into questions today. And we'll keep the session as short or long as we need to, based upon the questions that everybody has. We will not be doing a masterclass today. All right, let me go back to the chat box. Okay, we still got some people logging in, I see. I see them logging in slowly but surely. Today, we are doing a session with only questions and answers. That's all we're doing. We're not doing a masterclass today. So if anybody has any questions about anything, you want to ask questions about your homework assignments, you want to ask questions about the platform, things you should be doing next to grow your speaker business, anything of that magnitude, we are handling questions like that today. So we got a whole lot of time for some personal attention if you like.
It looks like we got Tassie Jenkins with a question.
Okay, that's Tassie.
Tassie Jenkins. All right, I'll unmute.
Yep.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Tassie, I hear you fine. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. And how are you?
That's good. I'm doing super fantastic. It's been a long day, but you know, Mondays always are, right?
Yeah. I actually don't really have a question because I'm just now getting into modular 1, so I don't really have a question.
Okay.
I'm really just trying to stay on top of everything. Last Monday, I didn't make the, I called a class. I called a 2-hour class on Mondays now because I'm trying to make sure it's on my schedule, so I put it in. So I don't really have a question because, like I said, I'm just not getting into modular 1.
Okay.
So far so good. I wanted to make sure you knew I was here though.
Exactly. You know what? And I'm glad that you definitely, keep the connection going, stay engaged, because that's a big part of being successful on the platform, Tassie. You and I had a great first conversation, and, I know you told me you had a lot going on right now. You got a lot of transition happening. So I really take my hat off to you for staying engaged and showing up. Remember, if you just so happen that your schedule will not permit you to get on the Monday group call, then, Auston sends out a rebroadcast either that same evening or the very next day. So you can always go back to speakerfocus.com and your panel, and you can see a whole list of videos that are catalog of the ones that we've done in the past. We cover some very interesting topics that we've gone over in the past. Every time I feel a need to take a deeper dive in something that, somebody has posted in the school platform or somebody sent me a direct email, we keep our ear very well in tune to what's going on with the things that our students need. And then we just start producing content based upon those things that the market is telling us that they need, or, we feel like we can improve on a particular topic or something like that. So yeah, don't beat yourself up if you can attend, but you're doing the right thing, staying engaged, because one thing's for sure, these strategies are not going to magically fall from the sky and, jump into your brain. You have to commit some time. And even people with busy schedules, this is the reason why we created an online platform. So it doesn't matter if you have a half an hour or hour or a couple hours every day. You can go as fast or slow as you need to. And we're always here on the Monday group call. It doesn't matter if we do a masterclass session or if you you want to just stay engaged like you're doing right now, or if you really got a question, it doesn't matter. And remember, you can always submit a support ticket every day. This is why this platform is different, because we are accessible. Me and Austin are accessible. So Tacey, whatever you need, you just let us know. We're just, we're very happy that we have somebody of your caliber on our platform. We get a chance to connect with you.
Do you have any questions in the queue? Because I don't want to.
No,
I just want to make.
You're not holding
Okay.
up anybody. You're not. No. We'll if it's any in there, we'll get to them one at a time. You go ahead.
Another thing is, again, I've been a motivational speaker for over 25 years, and just over the last 2 or 3 years became a life coach. And so with the certification and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to keep something real, and that is, Kevin, I want to make money. Okay. I know that I'm good at what I do. I was attracted to your program because of the marketing aspect. And I know all the other stuff. I'm going to get all the other stuff, and I want all the other stuff. But I'm going to be honest. I am so ready to make some money. I'm one of those older people. I'm not so new to the game. And I want to make money, and I'm going through the modulars, and I'm going through the 2-hour. This is my 2-hour class on Mondays. And because I expect to be able to, when I'm done, and I've done everything that you and Austin have told me to do, to take off like a jet and make some money.
Well, that's the whole goal, and I'm glad you brought that point up. Tacey, remember, one of the things that, we always respectfully request, and I was in that category as well. I was in that motivational speaker category. And a lot of times what happens is, and this is something I have studied for years. Okay. I'm talking about, I've studied it for decades. I've studied the difference between a motivational speaker and a professional speaker. And typically motivational speakers, they have that, kind of rah-rah thing about them. And I was doing it for about 7 to 10 years before it was brought to my attention that there's another world out there of professional speaking, people that are specialists and subject matter experts and leading authorities and trusted advisors. I started to become familiar with that world, and it makes you look at the world totally different. And I'm going to say it to you like this, Tacey, since you were very transparent, I really appreciate that. We need that on our platform. We need you to tell us, where you are and what you're trying to accomplish. And our goal is to push you. Our goal is to, keep you engaged and give you the tools so you can get there as fast or slow as you need to get there. And make no mistake about it, at the end of the day, the goal is to speak less and earn more, not the other way around. And typically when you're a motivational speaker, you're not good at marketing or branding, and everything about a motivational, inspirational speaker reflects in that. They may have even the messaging part right halfway sometimes. I found that this is a typical survey. A motivational speaker, they end up talking too much, right? Especially to the conference coordinator. And they don't understand how the game works at all. They're so one-sided with, me, I, this is what I'm about. And they totally don't know how to add any value to the conference coordinators. So with that being said, that puts you in a very dangerous position. And what I heard in your voice on the very first call, and I just heard it again. See, I pay attention to stuff like this. I heard the same frustration in your voice that was in mine when I said, man, I'm tired of being a motivator. Like, there's no money in motivational speaking. The money is in being a professional speaker. Now, the professional speakers, they start to think like the target buyer. They start to think like a professional marketer, right? Am I making sense, Tacey?
Yes, sir.
Right? They start understanding that the sales tools are a big part, so they can stop talking so much. They understand that, in the new media and new digital era that we're in right now, when you get into technology, they understand they let the technology do the working for them. See, that's a mature, grown professional speaker, somebody that takes the responsibility to learn all of these things. that they're supposed to know for their business, and stop acting cavalier. Oh, let me tell you something. Because I talked to an insane, and I'm talking to a sickening amount of people that think that they understand this business. I have people jumping on the call with me, jumping on the strategy call, saying they don't have any holes in their game. Now, I don't know what kind of business that you're running where you feel like you don't have holes in your game, or you're not taking in water, you're not hemorrhaging resources in some kind of way, shape, or form. It's your responsibility to patch those holes up. And you should be concerned about if you're not doing this business the right way. So Tacey, all I did was just utilize my God-given authenticity. There's no other way I can be with you. I gave you a serious option. I gave you a choice. Yes. You don't have to do business with us after I finish telling you all the truth. But you know what, Tacey? We had a real conversation with each other.
Yes, we did.
I basically listen to you, and I work with you even on your payment to get you into this program, because I heard you and I listened to you. We both listened to each other.
Most definitely.
And then we had a follow-up session after you looked at you looked at all of the stuff, and you said, you know what, KTR? You said, because I remember you told me I said something to you, because I had to propose the question to you. If you don't do it now and take the risk on yourself, are we going to be having the same conversation 6 months or a year from now? You know what you told me? You said, we're not waiting 6 months.
No.
I'm in right now. You showed me everything I needed to know about you. So it's not a surprise when, you hop on the Monday call and you have this kind of energy. See, my goal with you is to get you paid. This is what it is at the end of the day, because the bill collectors don't want to hear I don't have it. They don't want to hear your excuses. Take it from somebody who's been through foreclosure and repo and water, gas, electric, utilities cut off multiple times, foreclosures and evictions. You get tired of living like that, Tacey.
Yeah. And you know what else? So I want to say back in late 70s, early 80s, Les Brown was my mentor, my inner mentor.
Okay.
And so once I moved to, because that was in Detroit, and once I came to California, and I still spoke, and I did the little bit I could do as far as marketing, what I knew. The funny part, well, not funny, is that at that time, all there was motivational speaking. That's all there was. There was no professional speaking. There was no life coach. That was it. And even when I went to my first Les Brown classes, they didn't talk about marketing. They felt they were teaching you how to be a motivational speaker.
Correct.
And now the atmosphere has changed. The whole thing has changed. Motivational speaker is no longer.
Tacey, wait a minute. You gotta rewind that, because somebody might not have caught that. Now you're talking about 20 to 25 years ago, correct?
Yes.
What did you just say? What did you say? What just changed?
The whole atmosphere.
The whole landscape of
the whole landscape has changed completely
in the last 25 years. Yes. And I've seen it happen myself. Yes. And a technology has a big part to do with why it's changed so much. Now, when I first brought it to your attention, see, nobody's ever said that to you before. Nobody's ever said, Tacey, I'm respectfully requesting that when you get in this program, you do not refer to yourself anymore as the motivational, inspirational speaker. Now, why? You just started this coaching program, but the words that I've said to you so far, can you hear it in my voice? The value in being a Professional speaker? Because you want to get what again, Tacey? You want to get what?
Paid. And some people take that offensively when you tell them you want to be paid.
We don't. Me and Austin, we love it.
No, I want to be paid.
We love it when you have a clear financial goal. This is why I love talking to people like you, because you said it from the get-go. Okay, look, KTR, I know it's no guarantees. I know I'm gonna have to work hard. You told me everything I needed to know. I told you straight up, wasn't gonna be no hand holding, wasn't gonna be no singing kumbaya around the campfire, wasn't gonna be no ass kissing. There's gonna be some work going on.
It's gonna be some work.
You said, okay, I got no problem with that. You asked me every question that you needed to ask me, and you said, I know that I have to learn the marketing. That's the biggest piece that people are missing. That's why Auston always strives that, watch this. You see, I'm more of a creative person. Auston is more of a technical person. But what I realized that if you don't do any of the stuff that I tell you to do, then you can't get it to convert with the part that Auston wants you to do in module 5. But Auston would tell you straight up, none of that other stuff matters. You could post content all day long. You could talk to your friends and tell them how great you are. You could work on your speaker info kit, your sales tools. You could be dropping YouTube videos every day. If you don't build a marketing machine to get those leads to come in with predictability and consistency, you're going to sit right there in your family room, living room, office, basement, bedroom, wherever, with 0 bookings in sight.
Do you know that this is the, with you, it's the first time I've ever heard, and again, I when I had it to spend, I've spent thousands of dollars.
Yeah. That's one of the first things you told me. Yes, ma'am.
And so this is the first time I've heard the word, what do you call the people that we need to talk to get the job?
Okay. Conference coordinator, meeting
coordinator. I have never ever heard anyone tell me about the conference coordinator. Now I went in and went to human resources.
That's right.
Went to the human resources department and asked them if they have contract out their for consultants. I've done that, but I've never heard the word what you just said.
Yeah, well, watch this. There's a lot of different words that you can call conference coordinators. Sometimes they're called technical coordinators. Sometimes they're called chair or committee members. Sometimes they are referred to as a key decision maker who writes the check. I'm talking about a person who is directly responsible for purchasing professional speaking services. Tacey, I want you to do a Google search on different names for conference coordinators, and you will find so many different names of conference coordinators, but they all have the same functionality. They have massive amount of logistics. And look at yourself as a speaker, like you're just another line item to a conference coordinator. You're just another thing they have to check off to say, okay, banquet, catering, hotel, airfare, meal per diem, lighting, staging, sound, speaker, right? Oh, they got to pay for all of that. And they got to pay for your services as well. So when you start thinking like the conference coordinator, you start thinking like a professional marketer. I remember the first time that I took some higher level speaker marketing, and then I talked to my to the person I took the training from 6 months later. I talked to him a year later. It wasn't the best training I took in the world, but it was better than where I was. And they did teach me higher level marketing. It wasn't as comprehensive as Speaker Focus. You got to understand, you don't get Speaker Focus unless Kevin T. Robertson makes all the mistakes he's made, unless he's gone through 2,750 paid speaking engagements, seeing the good, the bad, and the ugly. You don't get Speaker Focus until I come along and tell Auston every single challenge that I had. I put some curriculum together, and then Auston just puts it. I mean, he supercharges the whole vision and puts it on steroids, and boom, all of a sudden, we got the world's #1 platform for speaker marketing, and I'm the world's #1 speaker coach. Like, that doesn't happen unless, like, timing is very critical, Tacey. So watch this. When you took Les Brown's course over 25 years ago, my dear friend, my colleague, my mentor, Les is the king. Let me go back to something about Les, Tacey, because with Les and many of his contemporaries, when they were back in their prime, I'm talking about, this is when Zig Ziglar was alive.
Right.
This is when Nita Cobain was alive. This is when, Stephen Covey was alive. This is when one of my another business associates, Jim Britt, is one of the top 20 business speakers, top 20 business coaches. You know, Jim has put over 2+ million butts in seats. Jim used to work for Jim Rohn. Okay, Jim Rohn was a huge business speaker back in the day. Jim Rohn is no longer with us. So you talking about Les and the rest of his contemporary. This is when Tony Robbins first started to get into the game.
Right.
And Tony
Right.
started to become good. See, watch this. Les is known as Les is Brown. Les Brown's brand is, besides being Mamie Brown's baby boy, Les is the world, watch this, he's the world's leading motivational speaker.
Right.
And Les has always had that part of his brand from the first time I met him. That's how he got the TV show. They cut him a check for $1 million+ back in the day. Boom, he had a TV show. Boom, he was a best-selling author. And Les is like the Sammy Davis Jr. Professional speaker for African Americans, because he was the first one asking for $30,000+ for 1 hour.
Thank you.
And could get it because he was that good. You gotta have some guts. You gotta have some balls. Let me tell you something. But now watch this. I'm glad we're going over this because the younger speakers need to hear the history of this business. If you don't know your history, you are doomed to repeat it.
I agree.
But you said, Tacey, we're old school. We had a real old school conversation. I'm still young enough to connect with the young people, but I'm old enough to be able to know.
Yes.
When I got my first, when Les Brown asked me to come speak on his stage over 25 years ago, I was still young. You understand? I was in my 20s. So I'm still young enough to be able to see the impact that he's had. But what started to happen to make the business change is that the conference coordinators simply got tired of booking hype. You know how many times that I've talked to conference coordinators, and I've serviced thousands of them. I've had sidebar conversations, thousands more conversations, little conversations at conferences, at these meetings. They say, you know what? We hired a celebrity speaker, and you can see it right there on the evaluation forms. The speaker, it was too much fluff. It was too much hype. They were talking about who they knew. These business professionals, they need something real that's going to help them change their lives. And you can't do that. You cannot do that with hype. And that's the reason why me and Auston stress so much from the outset of our program. Value, value, value.
So here in California, you know, we have so many issues and topics for conversation. And so about a year ago, because I've done the last workshop I did with Les was maybe 4 years ago. I've done things with him throughout the years. But here, what I tried to do, we'll say starting two years ago, we have different laws, and we've got because we have so many communities, the gay community, the trans community, we have all of those. And all the corporations and companies had to do training, diversity training. And because we had a new law come into place called AB, I'm going to say AB 135 because I don't have it in front of me.
No problem.
Which said now here in California, I'm not sure if it's in America, but California, that said, okay, you don't want to say you're anything. You don't want to say you're male, female. You don't want to say you're trans. You don't want to say anything. So now we've given you a new law that says you don't have to.
Okay.
So here it is. Now you're applying for this job, and the person behind the counter doesn't know what to say. So I was trying to get into that niche where I could go in and do diversity training, really based on the new law, the AB, I want to say AB 135.
Yeah.
Based on that. Okay, so listen to my language. This is all I had to go by. And honest to God, again, this is what made me have to trust you. So I want to do this. I did my trifold. I did the stuff. I did my mailers. Just some updating to my website, which if you look at, I know you're going to say it sucks.
It's okay.
And
We have nothing but constructive criticism and love here for you. We can always
okay, but
improve
it's
on.
okay. It's
Yep.
okay. Because
I haven't looked at it yet, but I'll take it easy on you.
so I even think from the few times that we've talked,
Mhm.
and this will be the second class that I've done. I didn't do last week, but I did the one before that in my car.
Mhm.
And so this is the way it started. Okay, this is the only way I knew. Go and call human resources, find out who do I speak to. To let's see, what did I say? And it to me now it sounds horrible. It sounds horrible. Just
Okay.
talking to you.
Mhm.
Who do I talk to come in and do a seminar or workshop on diversity training, considering our climate now, our employment climate?
Okay, Tacey, pause for a quick second. What you're saying is you're giving me the exact verbiage for basically your pitch when you picked up the phone and did the outreach.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
It sucks.
Now, no, listen. Just tell me everything you said first. This is called in the training in module 2. This is called sales cycle training. So you tell me what you said, and then I'll go through it with you right now. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so I don't know the exact words right now. I have a script that I did, but I'm in the process of moving, so stuff is in boxes.
Got you.
And so I don't have that stuff. I'm living at a friend's house. Anyway, so hello, my name is Tacey Jenkins, and I am a certified life coach and diversity training. I just said something in that area.
Okay.
And I would like to come in and do a workshop to your employees, because in this atmosphere, you could be sued over something that was unnecessary, strictly out of your employees not knowing the law. And I would like to come in and do a session with you and your employees. We're talking about a half day. I don't give them a price here.
Okay, good.
And at this point in talking to you, I really don't even know who I'm talking to. I don't know if I'm just talking to the secretary. For real, this makes me think about, and it kind of makes me angry. It kind of makes me angry over waste time. I'm 65. I'll be 65 in December, and I'm angry because I've been doing this for 40 years.
Okay, so Tacey, now we look at those as stepping stones of focus. All right. Now you've been doing it for 40 years, but I have a lot that's not uncommon. People jump on our platform and they've never been taught how to build a marketing machine from the ground up. So a lot of these things that you have to learn as a professional speaker, really what you are as a business operator, an entrepreneur. A lot of people have never even had to run a real business. A lot of the crutch has been they've been working a job. So the job has always kind of told you what to do. I'm going to get a paycheck. I'm going to just go in here and do my work. But you've never had to do that yourself. So you watch this. You should be, if you feel like you're not everywhere you want to be in your life right now. And I talk to people on the front lines of this COVID thing every day in our speaking industry. There are people who are thriving throughout COVID, like me and Austin and Speaker Focus. We're very fortunate. There are people who have had some of the people have had their calendars wiped clean. The majority of our coaching students, their mindset is the reason why they still want to get involved in the business is because you still got to learn it either way. Don't you want to come out of COVID with a new skill? This is what almost every single coach, consultant, service provider, leading authority, specialist, subject matter expert, anybody that has a course online right now, everybody is talking about you got to pivot. You got to pivot. Some people don't even know what the pivot means. They don't even know. They don't even know how to pivot into something else. But what they mean by that is you've got to pivot into these online or digital platforms, all these outlets that are available to you. And then you've got to know what you're doing. And this is why we put together Speaker Focus. So you would have a home, you would have a place where it was like a place of refuge for speakers to come who are broken, who need healing, who need education, who need some type of repair for their business model. People that don't know what they're doing. People like you, Tacey, that's saying, hey, listen, I don't have no time to be playing no games. I got to put my money where my mouth is right now. You could have taken your coaching fee that you put down and you could have spent it 50 other ways right now, but you chose to make an investment in yourself. Now, everything, see, what I learned about life and success, Tacey, is you're going to be able to get it all back and then some. I don't promise it to you. I guarantee you, like me and Austin have been there for many of our coaching students, and we got more examples on the website, more than we can put on the website of people that have been homeless, people that just got a job, people that were down and out in some kind of way. We got people on our platform sleeping in their cars. We got people on our platform sleeping in their cars, driving Uber or Lyft, but they pay that coaching fee every month because they believe in themselves, right? Now, either you got to be out of your mind, and with your goals, I suggest that you are. You got to be a little off. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. We're here to support you and not make you feel horrible about anything you want to accomplish. Because when I tell you before, me and Austin know what it's like to sleep on the floor. Me and Austin know what it's like for your bank account to be upside down, not having any money on your debit or your credit card. We know what that feels like. Okay, so you're talking about some struggling. Austin's had to struggle his entire career. I've had to struggle my entire career. We still struggle right now. We get it. We understand. Your desire to get on that stage to speak has got to be greater than anything else that you're going through in your life right now. So when I hear that drive, anybody talking to you right now knows you're full of drive and determination. But now watch this. I gotta be able to match that energy with what we're delivering on the platform, the value that we're offering. And Tacey, that's all I want you to remember. I want you to remember the business has changed so much because conference coordinators need more from their speakers now. They did the part about making everybody feel good. I mean, Tacey, you're inspiring me right now, just being open and transparent for the whole world to know, hey, I'm staying with a friend right now, but I'm doubling down on my speaking career. What?
Kevin, I love speaking. I love encouraging. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I remember speaking to people about their passion, which I got from Les Brown. Your passion, your passion, your passion. So, but how can you talk to a person about their passion when they're down, right? Like now, don't talk to me about my passion. I already know my passion. Exactly. Tell me how I'm gonna make my passion work for me.
Tell me where am I going to get the, hey, listen, where am I going to get the money from? Watch this. The question is this, Tacey. I don't know about you. So I'm gonna tell you where I was, right where you are right now, because I understand the pain. And then I'm gonna listen to what your thoughts of it was. So I kept hearing all this stuff about you could get paid to speak, you could do this, you could do that. Then I started getting paid to speak, but it wasn't enough. A church taking up a collection for $50-something is not enough.
It's not enough.
Going to speak at a school for $250 or $600, $700, even when I was breaking $1,200 or $1,000. Okay, when you start making more money, now you can pay more bills. But I was like, this doesn't seem like it's enough. There's got to be a better way. But here's the question that I couldn't get even the top, no, I'm not going to say the top, because the top speaker coaches were giving you the how-to like me and Austin are doing. But the majority of them, they were not telling me how to. They was telling me what to do, but nobody was telling me how to do it. What's your thoughts on that as you were coming up over the last 40 years, just with speaker training?
There was none. There was none. But then I have to think about what you said. I always had to work a job. So my speaking was always on the side. I always knew that I could make money, but I was making that $250. I was making that $200, $300. And that's what I've been doing. I may get $1,200 now, on a good day. But, well, not now. We'll just say last year. Again, have you ever heard of Valerie Burton?
Yes.
She's an African, okay, and I really like her, and I'm certified through her also, and through Les Brown. And I've went to, I think I went to Atlanta the last time. That's been maybe 3 years ago. But I still didn't get the how to, like you said, you don't, everybody's out for themselves, and that's okay. Everybody want to be paid. I'm out for myself. I'm doing this one for me, because at this, I'm gonna tell you something else. At this point right now, at my age, I'm on Social Security disability, and it's hard to make ends meet. The government has said, okay, well, you can have a job, but you can't make more than $800 a month. Okay, so excuse me. So here I am. Okay, I want to go to the colleges and speak about diversity training, but I want to be paid. But I got to be careful. So I need some under the table conferences. Well, you're not going to get those with the big corporation. They're going to give you a 1099. They're going to give you a 1099.
Yeah, you got to play the shell game, Tacey. And I'll tell you right now, if you're at your wit's end, and this is anybody that's listening to this right now, if you're at your wit's end and you feel like your options are running out, or shit looks real thin for you, and you feel like things are just not happening. When my dad died back in 2010, I saw what the government, I saw the ugly face of the government, the Social Security and the benefits that rolled over from my dad to my mom. It was disgusting.
Disgusting.
She might as well, you might as well just keep that. It's like was really getting nothing, so you start seeing this. And even though my mom and dad paid into a system for a long period of time, but that system is not around anymore. So you start getting treated unfairly, and then you start realizing, okay, I'm on my own. So if I have to take all these risks, if I have to wind up with nothing at the end of the month, I've got to do something to take the risk on myself. So what you've done is you've gotten sick and tired of being sick and tired, like many other. There's millions of people in this world who are searching for new things. The biggest sector of growth is entrepreneurism. People are Auston created his own job. He literally created his own job. He saw where all this technology was going, and he said, you know what? I'm going to get that skill. I know how to get into computers. I know how to hack them. I know how to build them. I understand engineering. I understand automation. I'm going to create my own job. That's how he got with a company that was managing some software. Well, they had a great software product. They bought in Auston to help them scale their business up, and that's exactly what they did. Help them scale up to millions and millions of dollars. By the time I met him, see, timing is everything, Tacey. He had more experience. By the time I met him, I was just sick of lacking the technical piece of my business model being online. And as soon as I saw it, Tacey, just like how it is when you heard it in my voice, then you looked at the email, you said, this guy's for real. I ain't never heard nothing like this before. Now, Tacey, I don't promise it to you. I'm going to guarantee you two things. Number one, the topic that you want to offer these corporations and associations, and before I get finished with the questions, I'm going to go through how you should have been presenting yourself to these corporations, right? And I'm going to tell you exactly who you're supposed to be speaking to when you call them up. And then the second thing I guarantee you is, when you come out of this and you start making money, I'm gonna be sitting right there.
Yeah, right. You better be. I'm gonna
have a smile on my face, and I'm gonna be there to support you, as I've done with many people. I've walked them through evictions. I've walked them through foreclosures. I've walked them through repo. I'm talking about people on our platform right now. I've got them through all of that. Because when you deal with us, we're a family of Speaker Focus. We actually give a damn. We care. So because I understand, if you can keep your head in the game while you're going through all these adversities, the pandemic is nothing but another adversity on your checklist of adversities that you have to get through every single day. Now we know when we go to the grocery store, they're going to have the little sanitizer up there up front. They're going to have some hand wipes to put on your shopping cart. You got to have your mask on. Everybody's 6 feet distancing. it is what it is right now. The world's probably never, ever going to be the same, but that's okay. This is not going to last forever. And when you come out of it, you're going to have a different skill. You're going to have
And
a
you
better
know
skill.
what?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
apologize, but you know what? By the end of this, the so-called end of this, I want to be in a position to hit the companies as they come back. I want to be able to slap them in the back of their head and tell them they need me.
Yes. Oh, okay. I'm glad you said that. Right. Tacey said, I'm going to get their attention, smack them in the back of the head. So watch this. So the first thing, Tacey, and this is coming up in module 2. Obviously, you haven't got there yet, but
no,
this is a great talking point, for what we're going through on our Q&A call, because this is what we're here for. We're here to answer questions. We can then make that information available for everybody on our platform. So here's the deal. So when you have that's like a OSHA topic that you have. It's like a compliance topic.
It's a compliance, not OSHA at all. It's more of a compliance.
Okay, something in that field. I know when you're dealing with OSHA, you're dealing with human resources and
yes.
OSHA and all that kind of stuff falls under the housing of human resources. So you could call up a human resource director. You could call up head of training and development, and you would say, hey, this is Tacey. Hello. Let's say you don't know whether or not you're getting somebody from the switchboard, or you don't know whether or not you're calling the direct person. This is the reason why in the digital marketing world, direct outreach is very important. You want to make sure that you are talking to conference coordinator, meeting and event planner, a key decision maker, chair or committee member who is directly responsible for purchasing professional speaking services. So Tacey, how you qualify them if you're doing a cold outreach through cold calling through the phone like you were doing, you would say, hello, this is Tacey. And after you exchange pleasantries and they say, oh, how can I help you? Hey, I was wondering if you could put me in contact with the person who works with outside contractors for your organization. Or you could be more specific, the person who works with outside contractors and speakers. Now, the key up front is you don't want to ask for the booking. This is where all speakers get it wrong. You do not want to ask for the sale off the break. You almost jumped right into it. And it wasn't all, you didn't have it all the way wrong, by the way, but there's some things, and we have an exact script that you can follow in module 2. And this is how it goes. So after you exchange pleasantries, hey, good day, how are you? Hey, we're doing fine. National Institute of Leadership, how can I help you? Hey, this is Tacey. Could you put me in contact with the person who works with outside contractors or who books speakers for your organization? Oh yeah, you said your name was Tacey? Yes. Oh, Tacey. Well, that would be Miss Johnson in extension 205. And Tacey, always have a pen in your hand, because a lot of times they try to put you on hold. Hold, please. Hold, please. Hold, please. Excuse me. Can you give me the extension? I missed them. If you still have their attention, try to get the extension or the direct number and write it down, right? The number or the extension or the dial by name, whatever it is. So that way, when you call back again, you already know how to go through the process. Boom. Once you get on the phone, Tacey, here's where it goes from there. Hey, Miss Johnson. Hello, Miss Johnson, Human Resources, how can I help you? Hey, Miss Johnson, this is Tacey. How are you today? I'm doing great. How are you? What can I do for you? Well, the switchboard put me in contact with you and told me you were the person who was responsible for working with outside contractors or booking speakers for your organization. Would that be correct? Yes, I do. I do work with speakers. I'm one of the committee members. What can I do for you? Great, Miss Johnson. Listen, the reason for my call is, see, Tacey, are you still following me?
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, yes.
Listen to this. I'm not asking her how the sun is shining, where she is, who won the basketball game over the weekend. Let me get the number to your Avon lady or any other thing that doesn't matter. The reason for my call is, this is how you set it up and get right into it. The reason for my call, Ms. Johnson, is I'm a consultant and I work with corporations like yours on a wide variety of leadership development topics. Hey, listen, I was wondering if you had a few minutes to answer some questions to see how I could possibly help you with some of the biggest challenges that you face in your organization. And then I could see if my programs will be a good fit for you. Do you have a few minutes? Tacey, How does
I
that
like
feel?
that. I like that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm pretty good at what I do. Now,
for
how,
real?
yeah, how does that feel? Does that feel like I'm trying to sell you? Yes or no?
Does that feel like you're trying to sell me?
Do you
Yes,
feel
it
like,
does. Yes, it does.
okay, all right,
It does, but that's okay. But that's okay, because what it is that you're trying to sell me, because I know in our atmosphere here in California, I will need you.
Okay.
So yes,
Okay.
you're trying to sell me.
Okay, no problem. That's not the goal, but it's okay if you feel like that. And one of the conference coordinators may say, well, what are you trying to sell me? Watch this, Ms. Johnson. Not really trying to sell you anything. I want to do more of a needs assessment.
Gotcha.
You see, I know you probably get a lot of see, most motivational speakers, when they call Tacey, that's what they do. Hey, listen, Ms. Johnson, the reason why you need to hire me is, first of all, let me tell you my story. You know, I started picking tobacco when I was 5 years old.
Oh, no.
Okay, first of all, they don't want to hear any of that.
Don't.
So you're going to start out with the reason for my call. You're going to get into it. Listen, if you have a few minutes, I wanted to do a needs assessment to see if this is something that you and your organization could benefit from. You see? And she may be a little thrown aback because a lot of people don't call her trying to help her do her job. The conference coordinator is left out there all by themselves.
Okay.
Nobody cares about the conference coordinator. And that is the very reason why you as a professional speaker should be trying to do what you can do to support, uplift, empower, educate the conference coordinator. And when she really gets it, you go, you're trying to sell me something, Ms. Johnson. Again, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm here to do a needs assessment. If you have a few minutes, I'll be more than happy to share with you what I've learned over a 25 plus year, 30 plus year, whatever your experience is. I'll be more than happy to share with you. I work with these kind of challenges every single day, Ms. Johnson. I have a pen in my hand. If you just tell me what's going on, I can remedy it for you right now while we're on the phone. Some of them are like, you're gonna help me? Okay, well, I don't know how much time you have, but here we go. Here's what's happening in this organization. And she starts singing like a songbird. And all of it's going to start sounding very, very similar, Tacey. And she's going to say, well, you know, Tacey, what's going on here at the National Institute of Leadership is, we have this going on. And the pandemic has caused, our unemployment disabilities all out of whack. We have low morale now. People don't feel great about themselves. The remote working has damaged the fabric of our team chemistry. Communication is an all-time low. This is what you're going to start seeing as a fallout with all these corporations. These corporations, Tacey, by the way, already have massive amounts of dysfunction. Now, you think the pandemic is helping it? It's going to hurt it even more, which means the speakers that have the value right there, serve it up for them on a silver platter, is going to end up getting the lion's share. Because when she starts telling you about all her challenges and deficiencies and limitations, you're going to write all of them down. And then you're going to say, oh, well, first of all, Ms. Johnson, I heard you loud and clear. This is very indicative of the corporate climate and culture that we've created for ourselves, not only just because of the pandemic, but things are just haywire. Now, the signature programs that I offer help remedy many of these challenges. And then you're going to give her your signature programs. Tacey, right where you are in module 1 is the development of your signature programs. And you're going to create headlines, topics, titles, and descriptions, value, and more value all the way across the board. And everything that you tell Ms. Johnson, you're going to say, okay, Ms. Johnson, so the first thing you talked about was low morale. Well, in this program I have called, listen to this, Tacey, this may be one of your signature programs. This program I put together called Culture-Based Leadership. In culture-based leadership, we talk about how to fix low morale and the fallout of what happened throughout the pandemic of, people working remote, how they have a sedentary lifestyle and how they're sitting around not really doing anything, or how they were lacking the resources and this and that and that. and you're going to run down the line, and you're going to share with her the value that you have in your signature programs. Now, Tacey, you're going to go in there, and I'm going to help you build your signature programs. So it's speaking to the conference coordinator in a language that she understands. So at the very, very end, Tacey, you're going to bring your voice almost down to a whisper, and you're going to say, Ms. Johnson. Tacey, you loving it?
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Bring that voice down to a whisper.
It's okay.
Bring that.
Ms. Johnson, based upon the strategies I share with you from my signature programs, do you feel like this is something that will add value to your organization? Now, Tacey, if I just offered you something to drink, you see it, right? If I just offered you something to drink, and you've been stumbling around the pandemic for a long time, and I just offered you a life raft, I just offered you a glass of water, and you're dying of thirst, you think you might want to take a sip of that water?
I think so. I think so.
So there it is. So don't go in as the salesperson. Don't go in as the slimy, motivational, inspirational speaker. We hire me, rah, 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 sis, boom, bah, wave the pom-poms. No, you're going to go in as the consultant. You're going to go in as the coach, the specialist, the subject matter expert, the leading authority, the trusted advisor. And you are going to, without a doubt, you are going to let them know that you are here to help them solve their challenges. Now, Tacey, this is how this landscape changes. They're going to try to blow you off, especially if you cold call. So in module 2, we give you plenty of things on how to deal with pushback, how to deal with any of the objections. You know, they're going to say, well, you know, Tacey, I really don't have a lot of time right now. What is this in reference to? Well, Ms. Johnson, if I caught you at a bad time, I'd be more than happy to give you a call back. You know, I could probably run through it with you in maybe 5 or 10 minutes. If you don't have 5 or 10 minutes right now. I probably have 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, lay it on me. What are you calling for again? Hey, listen, what you're saying in your mind, Tacey, is I'm calling to do you a favor, sis. That's what I'm calling to do. Obviously, we're not going to say that. Ms. Johnson, I'm calling you to see how I could help you with some of the challenges and the limitations that you have in your organization. I specialize in traveling the world, helping corporations remedy these challenges. Think you might want to have a few minutes for that? See, I'm offering value. I'm offering you a gas mask in the middle of the pandemic. I'm offering to resuscitate you because your corporation has flatlined. And Tacey, you have a compliance topic. Oh my God, you could help the company. You know how many millions of dollars that they're hemorrhaging that you could help them save with the topic that you're talking about teaching them? And I hear speakers tell this kind of stuff to me every day, Tacey. KTR, I don't know. You think I'm charging too much? Or a conference coordinator may say, oh, I don't really know if we have $10,000 for a full-day program in our budget. Okay, Ms. Johnson, I understand. Great point. But the last time I checked, and if I heard you correctly, because I wrote it down, I asked you what your turnover rate was every month. You told me that you're turning over 15 to 20 employees every month is exiting your organization. At an average of $50,000, you're talking about a couple $1 million going out the door. It takes 3 times the salary to replace one of those employees. So you're talking about $6 million that you're hemorrhaging every month, just in employee turnover. But you don't want to pay me $10,000 to fix it? Does that sound right to you, Tacey?
That sounds like you may need me.
That's right. It sounds like somebody can't count because of the CEO or the head of finance found out that I was offering you a deal at $10,000 so you could stop hemorrhaging $6 million. But nobody looks at it that way, Tacey. Because everybody talks about, I know what my value is. You don't have a clue of what your value is. Because what you should be paying me is half of that $6 million that you're hemorrhaging every single month.
Thank you. That's
what you should be paying me. But I'm gonna take it easy on your pocket. Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna get it from one person. But I tell you this, I can run off a list of 100 speakers you never even heard of, and I'm right in there that's made over $1 million a year just speaking alone if your fees are right. And it takes a minute to get to 50K like I am right now for just an hour of my time. But you know, but you can go out for 5,000, 7,500, 10,000. Am I making sense? Tell me what you just learned from that, of how I walked the conference coordinator through about the verbiage, and then what I told you about the value in the message, and what I told you about the value in what you should be paying me to save you through this situation. Tell me what you got from that, and then we're going to move on to somebody else.
So what I got is I need to do a little bit of research before I call them.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit. Know a little bit about that company before you call them, so that when she says has some argument with you as far as why I can shoot out some numbers or some names or something.
Correct.
That's one. Two is go in there confident. No hee-haw, go in there confident. So when she says, well, I don't think we can afford it, you're confident enough to know that you have something she needs.
There you go. Because if you don't, you're expendable.
Exactly.
Why do you want to get thrown into the whole barrel of motivational, inspirational speakers who are squawking about how they're the best and they're not adding any value? She's sick of hearing it. Tasty, this is what she's doing. She's rolling her eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, I got me another motivational clown on the phone, is what she's saying.
And you have to keep that bass in your voice. And for a female, I've always said if I'm talking to somebody and I'm teaching them or motivational speaking or whatever,
yep,
I tell them you got to put that bass in your voice, put your shoulders back, and show your confidence. It's got just like the Bible says, let the glow of the Lord show on your face. You better show that strength in how you walk, talk, and think. Okay,
Tacey, are you seeing me right now? Can you see me?
Uh-huh.
This is what you mean. Watch this. I'm slouched over right now, right? Watch this. I'm gonna sit on the edge of my seat.
There
shoulders
we go.
Back, chin is up. Exude confidence.
There we go.
Now, when I stand on my feet, when you do sales calls, by the way, sometimes you should be standing on your feet. It gives you more confidence.
Gotcha.
You know, it gets the adrenaline going a little bit more. When you smile, when you smile, it brightens up the tone of your voice. All these little things, they can feel whether or not you know what you're doing or not. So take control of the conversation.
That's right. That's right. Should you try to set up an appointment?
Say it again.
Should you try to set an appointment with them?
Oh, okay. Let me go through the rest with you. So when you hit her with that, Ms. Johnson, based upon the strategies I share with you from my signature programs, do you feel like this is something that will add value to your organization? If you do it right, or when you do it right, she's going to be like, oh, Tacey, I got 3 pages of notes right here. Thank you for helping me. Of course it had value. And your next word is going to be, okay, Ms. Johnson, great. Well, with your permission, I want to get your email address, Tacey, pen in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
With your permission. By the way, this is exact verbiage, Tacey, that you're going to find in the script located in module number 2. You're not going to have to worry one bit. This is why you need to practice before you start speaking to the conference coordinator. So, Ms. Johnson, with your permission, I want to get your email address so I could send you over some information so you and your committee members could take it under consideration. Have I asked for the speaking engagement yet, Tacey?
No.
I said I'm going to send you some information so you and your committee members, because it's typically not one person that makes a decision. Sometimes it's a whole conference room full of them. Okay, and when she says, okay, yeah, she knows the call is coming to a close because you're asking for the email address. Yeah, you know what, Tacey, what are your fees? Ms. Johnson, every question that you're going to ask me is in the email I'm going to send you, and it'll give you every reason why you should be doing business with me. In the email, Ms. Johnson, you're going to have my website. You're going to have my speaker video demo, speaker info kit. It'll have my contact information in there as well. So, Ms. Johnson, now, by the way, what's your email address? Okay, great, Tacey. It's b.johnson@ibm.com. Okay, repeat back every single character. Tacey, are you hearing me?
Yes.
Don't just assume that you know what the email address is. You know how people spell their names these days? You think you got the name spelled right. People get my name wrong all the time. Excuse me, I'm making an appointment. Okay, Mr. Robinson. Excuse me, what did you say? Did you just call me
Robinson?
Okay, ma'am, could you tell me how you spell my name? Kevin Robinson. No, first of all, that's not my name. That's a whole nother person. My name is Kevin T. Robertson. Kevin Robertson. Miss Johnson, is this your email address? Is it B like Brenda? Yes, .JOHNSON at IBM.com. Like IBM the computer. That IBM, exactly. Okay, great. I got your email address. So, Miss Johnson, you're going to tell her what you're going to send her, like I just told you. And then at the end of that, you're going to say, okay, great. Miss Johnson, one last question. What would be a good time to follow up with you just to get your opinion about the email? Would Tuesday or 5 p.m. Pacific work for you, or would 3 p.m. Pacific work for you on Friday? Tacey, I think that I'm going to take the 3 p.m. Pacific. We're out here on the West Coast. We're right here in the Bay Area. Okay, great. Great. I'm in the San Francisco area as well. Okay, great. I'll be speaking to you at 5 p.m. and you're gonna put a push pin on your calendar, or you can set up a Zoom meeting, get a link from her, whatever the case, however you want to reconnect with her. I'd say Zoom, because that puts you right looking at their eyes. Prospects will lie to you, Tacey. They have a less chance of lying when you look at them right in the face. So if you can, set up a Zoom session with them. Now you have a specific date. Why do you want to set up a specific date? Because that's a system of accountability in place. If you don't set up a deadline, Tacey, is a forcing system of accountability. If you don't set up a follow-up time with them, they're just gonna flick you off like you don't mean anything. And also too, they need to know that when I give them a call back, you need to go over all that stuff that I sent you. See, now we can have a different kind of conversation. Watch this as we wrap up, Tacey. Hey, Miss Johnson, it's Tacey. I gave you a call, last week. I wanted to follow. Hey, Tacey, what's going on? Hey, listen, I'll be honest with you. I did not get a chance to check out all of the speaker video demo, but I did go to your website and I definitely looked at your speaker info kit. We are interested. Okay, now watch this. When they tell you that they're interested, see, don't just blow smoke to me. Interested to me, this is how you know the conference coordinator is serious, whether or not they're booking, they want to book you for an online presentation, a virtual gig, or a on-site presentation. Three things, Tacey, to let them know you're serious. Excuse me. Number one, they have a date to offer you on the calendar. This is what it sounds like. Yeah, Tacey, we're looking at the calendar right now. Well, first, when they say we're interested in you, this is my next sentence out of their mind. Ms. Johnson, are you saying that you want me to be your speaker of choice for your keynote? Or you want me to be one of the speakers at your conference? They already know when they look at my sales too, they say, no, Kevin, we want you as our closing keynote. Okay, no problem. Okay, great. I'd love to be of service to you. Let's talk about dates. First thing they should do is go to a calendar and say, we have a date for you, Kevin. We want you for April 21st through the 23rd. We want you for 2 days at our conference. And April the 21st through the 23rd, 2021. Are those dates available? I'm looking right at my calendar right now. That's a hectic week, but the dates that you want sure are available. A date to offer you is number one. Second, where's the venue? Where's the conference? Are they gonna conjure it out of thin air, or they have something real to offer you? Well, Kevin, we're looking at, we've already locked down Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. Oh, great. I've spoken to Mandalay Bay about 5 times. I love that facility. I don't have to worry about the rooms are super fantastic. The lowest room at Mandalay Bay is off the chain, but I'm getting a suite. Okay, now that's a whole nother. I'm sorry, Tacey. I love the good life. That's a whole other conversation.
That's me right there. That's me.
I'm spoiled.
Yeah.
I'm spoiled, right? When you start living this speaker focus life, you really get spoiled, and you don't want to go back to staying at the at the Super 6 or the Red Roof Inn. No offense to none of that. I've stayed in plenty of them, but no, I'm West End. I'm, minimum that kind of business class hotel accommodation. So when they tell you we have a date, we have a venue, oh, watch this, and we got a budget. Would you tell me at the beginning of this Q&A, Tacey, you said you want to get what?
Paid.
You want to get paid. So if you got a budget, okay, now watch this. Then you got to start. Now here's when you go into negotiations mode. I'm going to do a masterclass coming up on how to negotiate your fees, how to have the pricing conversation with the target buyer. The whole thing is about negotiating. So now you're going to get into the particulars. I say, okay, now, Ms. Johnson, I have a pen in my hand. Now, Ms. Johnson, you need to understand something. My schedule is very volatile. Literally, when we hang the phone up, we need to get a deposit on these 2 dates that you want. So I don't hold dates, Tacey. This isn't Marshall's where I say, oh, I left my credit card at home. Can you hold these pair of shoes for me? And I'm going to come back in a couple hours and pick them up. This isn't one of those deals. You never hold a date for a client unless they got a deposit. So the first thing I'm going to ask, Ms. Johnson, Ms. Johnson, let's talk about your procurement process, because we got to get a deposit on this, and we got to get a signed agreement. And then I could talk to you about the other things, logistics. I got to send you over a pre-programmed questionnaire so I can do all my research. I want you to send me some information, and I got a whole bunch more stuff I want to ask you. But first, we need to talk about the fee. What's your procurement process like? When can you start the purchase order process? That means that they're going to go to the accounting department, the procurement department. They're going to issue a purchase order so they can cut me a check for my deposit. I'm going to specifically ask her, Tacey, how long does that process take, Ms. Johnson? Typically, Kevin, I can expedite things. We got to go through corporate out in Texas. The whole turnaround time to that is about 5 to 10 days. Okay, so when you think you'll start the process? I'm going to put that in first thing tomorrow morning. It's close the business right now. I'm going to send them an email. I'm going to start the process. Okay, great. So now I know I got 10 days before they can send me my money, my 50% deposit. By the way, I'm also going to give them a pay in full option. I'm going to discount it by 5%. I'm going to take $500. If you're charging 10 grand, you're going to take $500 off if they can pay it in full. Remember, they want me for 2 days. So in your case, if they want to book you for a full day program and they want you for 2 days, that's $9,500 times 2. So I'm getting a deposit for $9,500. They're sending me half of it up front. Now, I know they said they couldn't send it. How many days did she say her procurement process was for the purchase order, Tacey? You been listening?
5 to 10 days.
7 to 10 days, 5 to 10 days, right? So while I'm waiting for my money, and you can better believe I'm going to get my money. While I'm waiting for my money, guess what I'm going to ask her to do? Ms. Johnson, first thing first, I need you to sign the agreement. I'm going to put everything. I'm going to put the venue in there, the date. You're booking me for a multi-day program. See, all this is right there in your speaker engagement agreement, the speaker booking information packet, which is found in module 6. You're going to write all that stuff down. And then, Tacey, you're going to send it over to her. She's going to put electronic signatures on it, and she's going to send it back. Now I got the engagement locked in, and I'm waiting on my purchase order. Sometimes they'll send you proof that they put in for the purchase order. But in another 11 days, if they're putting it on a credit card, they don't have to wait for the purchase order. If they put it on a credit card, they got to cut a check. They got to wait. Well, find out they got it on the credit card, because we take credit cards, every single one you can imagine. So you can put it on the credit card up front or wait for them to give you the check. Now, are they doing a bank wire? Excuse me, you can also do that as well. But a lot of times corporate is just going to send you a direct check. Give them the physical address to your office or tell them to send it directly to your home. It's nothing against the rules for that. And now you got your entire engagement locked in. Now, Tacey, from top to bottom, tell me what you just learned from how you're going to get on the phone, who you're going to be connecting with, how you're going to be talking to them. How you going to lower your voice? How you going to ask for your money? How you going to follow up and send them what they need to send, and then get them on the phone and hold them accountable to see if they looked at the materials, see if it's going to turn into a booking or not. If it turns into a booking, you're going to take them through a whole process. And then if it doesn't, you're going to stay in contact with them. By the way, I teach you all of this, what I just told you in module number 2. But just tell me top to bottom what you just learned that I just taught you.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Okay, so I wrote some notes. First thing I learned was when I get the person who answers the phone. And,
who's the person? I'm sorry. What is that person called that you're calling? Who? It's not a person.
Well, yeah, that's the person who works with outside contractors or who books your speakers.
That's right. That's the conference.
That's who I want to speak to.
That's right. That could be the HR director, head of human resources, training and development, something along those lines. So you got the right person on the phone, and you ain't wasting your time with some little intern that just got hired.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I learned that you need to, when you're talking to them, tell them what you're going to send them. You know, you in a light kind of way. You got to let them know that they need you. You know, after listening to it, well, I can help you because in my signature program we deal with ABC.
Look at you. Listening and taking notes and writing stuff down, and you haven't even started creating your signature programs yet, but that's what
I sure have not.
Exactly.
But okay. I can't wait. It's wait okay. Because and then if she asks questions, you're gonna say I'm gonna send you everything in the packet. You know, that's everything. Right. I'm gonna send you my all the stuff you said. Because I know
by the way, real quick, let me interject.
Yes.
The more you talk about yourself, the more you're going to blow your chances of getting the gig. You're going to let all the sales tools and the stuff that you're going to send her, you're going to let all the sales tools do the talking. Your main goal throughout that whole needs assessment is to get her to say yes and accept your outreach email. That's the main goal. Okay. And when you got it automated, Tacey, it's even easier, which is located in module number 5. But go ahead.
Okay. So again, you just want to let them know that you're going to send them the information.
Yes, ma'am.
You want to set up a follow-up. And then say thank you very much, I think.
No. We don't think on this platform. No. There's no thinking. There's only knowing. Yoda
so how did you end the call?
Say it again.
So when you ended that call with her, can you do the end again for me?
It's okay. Remember, I'm not going to go through the entire thing because it'll be
the end.
To rewind it. But 2 things, the goal at the end. After you follow up with her and she says, you are our speaker of choice, Tacey, we'd like to hire you. Okay, that's great. Now we got to jump right into the main reasons of why somebody's going to hire you. They have a date to offer me. They have a venue or an event, a theme, something, and they have a budget. And I've talked to them about my budget. Have you seen my fees? Can that accommodate your committee's budget? Yes, Kevin, we don't have an issue with it at all. Yeah, I know you don't, because if you try to lowball me, you're going to be without me. How about that?
How about that?
And keep hemorrhaging that $6 million every single month. Let's see how that feels. See, you got to have all this in the back of your mind. You trying to tell me you don't want to pay me my money? Lady, you can't afford not to pay me my money. So what happens when you're number 1, Tacey, you don't have to take less. And then the other end of it is, if you don't get the gig, you're going to stay in contact with them. And this is all about building a list, managing your email list, doing outreach. We teach you how to do all of this stuff on our platform. This is vitally important. So you're going to have an exact script with the right verbiage, and you're going to have a video that's going to walk you through it by the time you get to module number 2. And Tacey, you're going to have to get on the phone with me, and I'm going to be the conference coordinator. You got to get past sales cycle training with me, and we're going to have it right there on the Zoom chat.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
No problem. Hey, listen.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And anytime, anything that you need on this platform, you can expect this and much more with the level of service that we're happy to provide for you. I'll be talking to you real soon, okay?
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You keep your head up. Stay focused. I love you.
Yes, sir, I will.
All right.
I'm going to stay on. If you got another, I'm going to stay on the line.
Okay, no doubt. Okay, Wayne has his hand raised, I believe. Hey, Troyer, real quick, jump in here real quick. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything before I get to Wayne.
Nope, you didn't miss anything. It's just Wayne up next.
I'm good. Okay. Since that was a long session, let me see, Wayne. Okay. Wayne, I believe you're unmuted. Go ahead, Wayne.
Yes. Can you hear me yet?
Wayne, yeah, I hear you. What's up, boss? How you feeling?
I'm doing good. Things are moving forward.
Good.
Okay, you got my first part of my homework, correct?
I got it all. And I'm almost done with it. I'm getting ready to turn it back over to you so you can have some outstanding signature programs, Wayne.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, my second part is the excuse me, the professional biography formula.
Yeah,
okay?
the bio.
Okay. Now, my question about that, Coach, is when we're talking about with my professional biography, you just mentioned it when you were talking to the young lady there. You mentioned something about our services are providing the ability to help change people's lives, add value to the lives of the people in the organization.
Correct.
Okay. So and you want all these things. You got eight different components in this professional biography. Okay. I guess my question is, I'm asking you if the presentation of my professional biography formula items should they include like, am I supposed to write every one of these things out, or mainly gather the material, put them in order, and get them into your hands? How am I supposed to? What do you want out of me from this?
Yes, Wayne. One thing about it is that you're investing in a multitude of things, obviously, excuse me, in our technology and the system that me and Austin have created. One of the things that you're investing in is world-class copywriting skills. And you don't necessarily need to be in possession of that yourself, and that's okay. This has been a gift. I've been a writer ever since I can start writing in school. I've always had the gift of storytelling and putting word sequences together. And I've spent in upwards probably to 30, 40 grand in copywriting classes and things of that nature on top of what I already know how to do. So this is the reason why, Wayne, when you and I are on a work session and you give me one word, and that's the reason why I can put these words together, because I understand the market so well of what you're supposed to be delivering as a speaker. Now, Wayne, I got to take my hat off to you, bro, about your homework assignment. I'm gonna say it right here in front of the world. If I got to call you out when you're making mistakes, I gotta sure as hell praise you when you're doing good. And Wayne, you struggled mightily with those signature programs, bro. But when I sent you that last template, and by the way, for any of you who are struggling with your signature programs, I just upgraded the template in module 1. It is the very first document that you see. Wayne, when I sent that to you, you sent it to me.
Right.
It was kind of light. I sent it back.
You sent it back. You're right.
When you sent it back to me, I was like, oh, there it is right there. See, Wayne, that thing looks hefty now, bro. You sent me all the information that I needed so I can work with the signature program. See, now I know exactly what your vision is. And you did a great job of answering the questions. It doesn't need to be perfect. I'm going to make it sound the way it needs to sound to a conference coordinator so we can create sellable and bookable topics. Now, let's get to your bio.
Right.
Wayne, all I want you to do is do the same thing on the bio. Do you have the bio questions in front of you, by the way, Wayne?
I'm looking at them right now.
Okay, watch this. There's 8 questions that I need you to answer. It doesn't need to be answered perfect. I just need you to plug in the information where it's supposed to go. Question number 1, Wayne. I'm gonna go through the whole thing with you right now. Question number 1. Credentials. Okay, that would sound something like this. Now remember, you can utilize my bio that's right there in module 1, and you can look at it's broken up into 8 paragraphs. Why is it broken up into 8 paragraphs? Because I want you to follow the formula. it says something about Kevin T. Robertson is a leading authority in the field of this and that and that. So you just want to put your credentials down there. Wayne, I would start that out with, you are a specialist, subject matter expert, leading authority, or a trusted advisor. Either one of those categories, that's what you need to put in there. Watch this. Wayne is a specialist in the field of leadership development. He's worked in corporate America for the past 40 something plus years, right, teaching ... You got it?
Right.
That's an example. You sure you got it?
Yes, I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down as you're saying.
It's okay. Remember, Austin will have this available for you tomorrow, so you can just fast forward it to the part that I was talking to you about the bio, and boom, you can go right over it. Now, what's question number 2 in the bio formula? Author. Okay, Wayne, what is your mainstay headline for your signature programs?
I teach leadership concepts that erase limits.
Wait, say it again, Wayne, because we were struggling with that for so long. Say it again, Wayne.
I teach leadership concepts that erase limits.
Boom, there it is. So Wayne is the author of the forthcoming book, Leadership Concepts That Erase Limits. You heard what I just did?
Yeah.
Even if you don't have a book, Wayne, it says Wayne is the author of the forthcoming book. And you put your mainstay headline right in there. Now,
here's a question for you.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I do have, years ago, I wrote a mini book. I wrote a mini book.
Okay.
On my story from my prior life to, where I turned my life around or whatever.
Okay.
Okay. And I do have that is in a printed form. Plus, I have one that's in the works, but that's in a whole nother category. But I do have one prior.
No, it's okay, Wayne. So list the book that you have, the first book that you wrote. List the book that you're working on, and also throw that title in there. It lets the conference coordinator know, oh, they're a foremost leading authority in the field of leadership development, and they also write books on leadership. Again, credibility, more credibility as being an author. You got it?
Okay. All right.
And then Wayne, in the author category, I always put in there the kind of research that I've been associated with. Hey, for the last 34 plus years, Kevin has studied, leadership, sales, cognitive science, this, on a wide variety of things for leadership development.
Oh, it just hit me.
Yes, sir.
I forgot. I just remember when I graduated, when I got my for my master's thesis, right? That basically was a book. It's a book, and it's even in a major college library right now. But I wrote a book on offender reentry from the prison system. That's another one.
That's it. Okay,
and that's a big issue right now.
That's a huge issue. That's a huge issue. Prison reform is a hotbed topic, just like this social injustice and a whole bunch of stuff right now.
Right.
I'm working on a film project right now that has a lot to do with that. So you'll be hearing about that in the future. So now remember, let's backtrack.
So that's three different titles right there. Okay.
That's right. And there's nothing wrong with putting the titles in there to let the conference coordinator know, listen, I live, breathe, and eat leadership. Wayne, remember, leadership is the #1 bookable and most requested topic at conferences, corporate meetings, and events worldwide. It's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to be a better leader, and they need to hire you to do that. Now, your biography, remember, your credentials, you just want to put as many credentials as you can. Wayne, all you got to do is do the copy and pasting and create it. I will organize your entire bio and have you ready for an appearance on MSNBC, Fox News. I'm going to make your bio sing. Okay. All you got to do is give me the information. Now, what's the third question, Wayne?
The third one says timeline when you started. That was kind of got me.
It's okay. That's why I'm breaking it down right now. Timeline of when I first started. Since 1986. And if I wanted to, I could go back even farther than that. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna do a Facebook Live, or I'm gonna make a video of it. I'm gonna get every award and certificate that I've received from when I got an award every single year when I was in from the time I started kindergarten.
Right.
I got some kind of plaque, award, something. I got a box of that stuff, you know, in one of my storage units. I believe it said one of my properties. So I tell you this, that when I pull it out, you're gonna start seeing that I have a pattern of being a leader my whole life. I've never followed the crowd.
Right.
Never. So if I really want to go back, I just put on mine since 1986. I mean, damn, I could have went back to the day I was born if I want to.
Right.
But you want to be sensible about it. You can say, hey, since 1986, Kevin has been inspiring people with leadership strategies and helping them build their performance. And then just put a track record in there. How long have you been inspiring and moving people to immediate action? Put that in there. Give me the year. I want to know the year. Like the year that everybody says, man, I love going to lunch with Wayne. I love training with Wayne. I love hanging out with Wayne in the break room. Because every time I talk to you, Wayne, you sitting here schooling me about how leadership works, your ideology, your approach.
Right.
But the year that you started helping people and you really could see that you was adding some value. What's the next question?
The next one is reputation.
What? Come on now, Wayne. I mean, this is the whole reason why Carol wanted to marry you, bro, because you're a decent person. I could talk it when I write your quote, which out of the 20 quotes that you're going to need for your speaker info kit when we get there, you're not going to even. I'm going to tell it all about my quote. I'm going to tell everything that I know about you and what I feel about you as a business professional. He's hardworking. He's resilient. When the going gets tough, he doesn't give up. Wayne, you could have quit a long time ago.
I know.
You struggle with these signature programs, bro. I'm so proud of you. When you sent your homework back over to me, I was like, oh, he got it now. See, all it took is me to light that fire under you. And you got sick and tired of being sick and tired, bro. You came through. That's all you got to do with these questions on this bio. And I'm gonna get you to the home plate, just like I'm gonna do with these signature programs.
Well, you know what, Coach? You know what, Coach? And I'm not. I guess I'm not trying to blow smoke or nothing like that.
Yeah, ain't blowing smoke, bro. You're good.
But the way, no, I'm talking about blow smoke up your nose. But but the way that you engage us,
yes,
and the way that you and Austin, you guys are there, and you know all the time, and you know, like Austin would send me back something and say, man, just hang in there, you're going to get this and so on.
Yes.
You know, that kind of stuff makes a person on my end want to get it done and get it done right, because you're doing your part as a good coach, you know. And
Thank
so
you. Thank you so much,
really, I want to show you that I want to show you that I mean business. I mean, not that I got to prove it to you, because I ain't about proving it to you. Right. But you know, but that's at least you deserve from me, that I do it right.
Well, you know what? I appreciate that, because that's the respect that you give to us, and we extend that respect right back to you. Right. We're accountability partners in this. Right. I gave you my word. I gave Carol my word that this is what this was going to be. We were going to be here for you when the going gets rough. See, Wayne, as you can see, this stuff is impossible to figure out on your own. And if you don't have a system like me and Austin created, then what happens is you either get discouraged or distracted. And you had a system to follow, Wayne. How many times have you wanted to quit so far? Be honest with me.
Especially when I wanted to quit, but I know better. I'm you know, I guess I'm fortunate that you know, I just know I don't have no quitting sense. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And Wayne, going through, excuse me, finishing up your signature programs is like being in the Golden Gloves competition in the amateurs.
Right.
You got to fight your way through it the whole entire time.
Right.
So remember,
true.
So you have credentials, author,
timeline when I started.
Timeline of when you started. Question number 4.
Reputation.
So you're gonna watch this. It's what other people have said about you working your job.
Okay, so now, for example, I got some blurbs from, is that what you call them? Different blurbs from different people who I've spoken in their organization. I've spoken at their seminars.
Testimonials. Those are called testimonials.
Oh, they belong in another category?
No, you know what, right there with your reputation, that's a great way to put, you could put a quote there if you wanted to, but it's mainly what people have said about your character, about your integrity, about your, whatever you have displayed, the leadership style that you have is really what I'm asking you to comment about.
Okay.
In that section right there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. What? All right.
Wayne,
yeah,
listen, I'm gonna keep it real
understand.
simple. Wayne, I'm gonna keep it real simple. List about 3 things that Carol likes about you in there, and I'll take it the rest of the way. Don't even worry about it. I got it. Carol, that's my girl. She's gonna, she loves her man, and she's gonna speak highly of you. Just give me 3 qualities that Carol has that loves about you in there, and I'll put a corporate spin on it. Don't worry about it. Move.
I'll ask her.
What's next?
All right. All right. What's next is, what kind of facilitator are you? Now that one had me puzzled.
Yeah, that's one that a lot of our students struggle with. Now, when I say facilitator, watch this. Most of the people on our platform have done some kind of speaking one way or the other. So when you're a facilitator, that means you're a trainer, you're a coach, you're a teacher, right? A professor. That's facilitation. That means you have done a seminar, a webinar, a boot camp, a workshop, something like that. So then you would talk about the type of facilitation style that you have. In other words, Wayne, what's your teaching style? Watch this. Kevin T. Robertson teaches simple, practical application approaches and how-to strategies. That's my style. I teach people strategies. I show them how to do it. That's the strength of my facilitation skills. I'll roll my sleeves up and get in the workshop mode with you at the drop of a hat. I'm always looking to help another professional. That's what you want to add right there, Wayne. You want to talk about when you teach somebody something, how do you do that? How would you describe that? You got it?
Yeah, I never thought about writing it out like that, but I know what you're asking. Yeah. I'm like, for example, I'm like, okay, when I'll take it from, for example, from my worldview about people. I feel like you, just like everybody else, I feel like everybody got what I call a fastball. Okay. And that there's that one thing that they have, like that one pitch that a pitcher has, that he knows when he's getting ready to throw this, and when it's on, there's nobody can do it like he can do it. So my type of facilitation then is much of it, a good portion of it is helping the individual to find their strength, find their fastball, and to learn to believe in it, and that they do have something that they can do better than anybody else, or better than they do other things, and that's where they're one of the places they're supposed to let guide their life and how they're going to touch people around them. Okay.
Okay, Wayne.
If that makes sense.
No. It absolutely makes sense, and I'm gonna tell you. I remember in prior sessions with you, on our one-on-one calls that we've had, you mentioned that fastball analogy, and I'm telling you right now, bro, that's part of your brand. So you should put that in there, because that separates you away from other speakers. That's a key differentiator that will take your bio to a whole nother level. So make sure you put that in there.
I personally, Coach, feel like that is where I add value to that individual.
Exactly.
Because that's what makes him valuable. That's what he has.
Of course.
Right.
Remember I was talking to you before, and I heard Bobby Cox say this, the manager of the old manager of the Atlanta Braves. Bobby Cox says the only reason why a batter gets a hit is because the pitcher makes a mistake.
Right. But
when the pitcher it doesn't make any mistakes, he's unhittable.
Right.
I don't care what you can do. I don't care if you're Barry Bonds, if you're Alex Rodriguez, if you're Hank Aaron. Today, bro, I'm unhittable. And you know it and I know it. And there ain't nothing they can do about it. And the only way you're gonna get a hit off me is if I make a mistake.
Right. And when that person goes away from you feeling like that, you know, you have added value to that individual's life. And
exactly. So Wayne, in that category, I want you to put wait. I just want you to write all that stuff you just said. Fill in the blanks. Okay. Answer the 8 questions. What number question are we on now?
Number 6.
Number 6.
Biggest accomplishments.
Oh, then Wayne, this is without a doubt the only area in your professional sales tools that you get a chance to just lay it on the line and just brag. You can talk. Listen, I got more than I can fit in there. The paragraph is not going to hold all of it, and the paragraph is not going to hold all of yours. So Wayne, you could talk about you were the fastest promoted person on your sales team. You could put in there. When you got there, sales were only at such and such, and you increased sales nationally by 33%. All of that, anything you want to put in there like that, put the best stuff.
I understand. I got it.
All of it. That's what I need to see in there. And I'll take it and organize it and put the shine on it. All right, what's next?
The client list and track record.
Oh, client list and track record. I'm glad you said something about that. Okay. Let me just respond to this real quick. Okay, now a lot of speakers are going to run into a problem when they have the client list and the track record. Okay, now here's what's going to happen. You're going to say, well, KTR, I don't have any bookings. I haven't done any speaking engagements. But what you have done is you have worked for a lot of corporations. So you can just generalize things. You can put those key corporations. If you have a big company that you work for, then you could put a Fortune 500 company you work for, put that, because you have done speaking, whether or not it's in meetings, whether or not it's whatever. But you're going to say, Wayne has spent the last 20 years not only servicing, but also working with small, medium, and large size corporations in the field of leadership development, right? That's how you would say that. Okay. Something along those lines. Or if you want to put some speaking, the industries that Wayne has been able to speak to is boom, and put those in there. Criminal justice, the U.S. court system, the this, the that, the that.
Right.
A lot of times we think we don't have these credentials, Wayne, and until they start feeling me pick and probe like that, say, okay, well, I've had like 20 jobs. Okay, well, list all the 20 jobs.
Right. I got you.
See what I'm saying?
Yes.
You did provide service to those 20 jobs. You did get a paycheck. That's how you get around that. What's next?
Okay, and then finally, the media appearances.
Press or media coverage. So let's obviously, if it's any old magazine articles, newspaper articles, online publications, if you had any television appearances, that counts for public access. All of you should be calling up your public access channels, and you should be finding out all these producers who produce public access, and they need subject matter experts like everybody on our platform. And you should be asking them, make yourself available for a Zoom appearance right now.
How about this, Coach? If I've spoken on a couple, I've done a couple internet radio appearances.
I saw that on your Facebook page. Yep.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, those go on there too.
Did you want to smack me, or did you want to just pat me on the back and say, on the head and say, you'll be all right, son?
No. I believe that you did your part as the guest, and the guest is supposed to do 75% of the talking.
The latest one?
I'm not sure if I saw the latest one. It was you like on a round. It was like 3 other people, if I'm not mistaken, on the panel with you, right? And you were sitting at the microphone. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, both of them were like that. Yeah, but one was more. I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know the date that I saw, but I know I saw something. So no, you're answering the questions and you're dialoguing. When you get in that zone right there, see, Wayne, you're the best. You're the best when you're in conversational mode. When you start overthinking it, you're not good. But when you stay in conversational mode, you're great.
Okay.
So keep doing what you're doing. Keep answering the questions. So you're going to say this. Wayne is a frequent guest of the media on the topics of, and then put the topics down there. If you have specific media appearances that you've had when you were on the podcast, put those in there. That counts.
Okay.
And then again, all of you should be contacting your local public access producers. They need content bad. They could do a Zoom interview with you right now, and then you would have that interview as well.
Okay.
Or you can be interviewing other people. All that content, is just really, really great. And for you to lend out your subject matter expertise like that is doesn't do anything but add another feather in your cap. So Wayne, are you with me now about the 8 questions and the information you're supposed to put in? Is that more clear?
You'll have that before this week is out, next few days.
That's what I'm talking. Wayne, that's what I'm talking about, brother.
Oh yeah.
A strong comeback is what I love.
Yes,
You're doing
sir.
a great job, man. Well, I'm so proud of you, Wayne. I don't know what to do, bro.
Well, I'll tell you what I got. Like I said before, you and Austin are the real deal, man.
I appreciate it, Wayne.
Yeah.
That's why we love you, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
We talking to you real soon. Give my best to Carol
right.
again, okay?
I will.
I will. Talk to you.
Yep.
Hey, okay, we got Norma allowed to talk. Norma, how are you, Miss Chappelle? Ask Norma to unmute. Or Norma, can you unmute?
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hey, Norma.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing super fantastic.
I just want to say I got my Google Voice yesterday.
Yes. Okay, you got another thing set up. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I got that done, which freed me up because what I had done is I went and got when I first started this, I went and got an 800 number, which was costing me money.
Okay.
So now they're putting me up the Google Voice. My question is, I bought my name. I think I told you before, I bought my name, normachappelle.com.
Yes.
But that's not the email. How do I do an email? Where do I get the email Norma Chappelle at?
Okay. Austin, jump in here real quick. I think did Austin give an illustration of that last week?
I think
Bro,
he did.
Norma needs to know how to set her email up in her back end office for Google.
Yeah, so if I'll send you the exact time in the last video, Norma,
Yes.
in the last week's recording, where I go in detail for Brian. But at a high level, I recommend just go to workspace.google.com and just press get started. And it'll pretty much walk you through the entire process. It's only like $10, $12 a month. And you get a business email, which looks really professional. And you get all the other benefits of Google's, ecosystem. So I recommend just going to workspace.google.com. I'll type it in the chat here and just go through that sign up process. It'll walk you through everything, honestly.
Yep. Yeah. I remember you last week Brian Rehorn was on and he went through that process and Brian was able to get his set up. He sent us a confirmation that it was all set up. He got his domain name reserved, everything was all good. Anything else, Norma?
Yes, I got all these books from our meeting on Mondays. So I'm taking time to put all this together.
Okay. What kind of books you talking about? What kind of books?
Composition notebook and writing down everything from our meeting.
Yes, you talking about the notebooks. Yes.
Because I got a lot of information in here and I got to get it organized.
Yeah, you take copious notes. Hey, remember when you get all those things organized, I got to get on the session with you to make sure we go over your checklist and I got to hold you accountable for all that stuff so we can move on. You're getting to the point where you're getting ready to just get into module 5 with the stuff that really makes the money. Okay, you got to get past the putting the sales tools and stuff together. You got all that stuff almost done, and now we got to move on to something else.
Okay. I'm ready. I'm getting ready.
Yes, ma'am. I know you are. I'll be right there for you. I'll be there. I'll be there when you finish the whole process with a smile on my face.
Okay, and I will too.
I know you will. I appreciate your patience as you're going through the process as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, looks like nobody else was in the queue with a question. I'm gonna give one last call for any questions that anybody may have. One thing about it when we do the Q&A, and you have people that that show up and never feel embarrassed or ashamed. There's no such thing as a stupid question on our platform. I have an infinite amount of patience, and so does Austin. This is the whole reason why we put together Speaker Focus, so we could we could concentrate on clients like you who were serious. And, even when you're not getting your, you don't have a question, or you don't feel like you want to address it in the call, we go through great lengths every day on the Speaker Focus platform to address your concerns that you may have, to talk about everything. Eventually it's going to come up about how to run your business. As you can, I remember when I was talking to Tacey very, early on in this Q&A session, and when I asked her what she got out of it, she was just like, "Whew, is a lot," And I just think if you just go through the process, Wayne is another great example of going through the process. Norma is another great example of going through the process. And even when you have the struggles, we are there to help you get through every single struggle. That's not a promise. That's not a guarantee. We don't walk away from you. It doesn't get too hard on me and Auston. Oh no, we can't do that. No, we're built for this. And the more the more your patience gets tried, the more frustrated you get, the more you don't understand. This is when the real teaching comes in of what it is that we do. Now, we're dedicated to improving the process and making it easier on you as possible. Eileen has a question. Let me unmute Eileen real quick. Allow to talk. Eileen, unmute yourself, please. There we go. Okay, Eileen, how are you this evening?
I'm doing pretty good.
Eileen, Eileen, I just got your email around 5:30ish, I believe. I checked it out in there. It's okay. Talk to me.
Okay, because I wanted to go faster than I'm going, but I've had some obstacles, and part of it is with the technology stuff and not wanting to send information in that does not look professional,
Right.
To you. But even with the call of night, I did some answers. So I redid the signature programs and sent it in.
Okay.
I have so much information and stuff. I'm kind of like what you stated earlier, from 30 plus years of service and dealing with
Right.
experiences and stuff. And I don't know if I need to try to send you all of that because it's not organized, or I need to talk with you so I can just get it together. I have a lot of the stuff. I just don't have it organized and can't send it to you over the internet because of my technical stuff.
Okay. All right. Now watch this. When it comes to your signature programs, remember the signature program template that I sent you.
Right.
I know you got it because you confirmed that you got it. All
Right.
I want you to do is fill in the blank. I don't want you doing anything else right now except for filling in the blanks with the stuff that goes inside the signature program. I believe you sent that template back to me, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably. I may have, but I was completing it like that. So I'm trying to see if the one that I sent you.
I tell you what, you'll get you'll get an answer tonight.
Okay.
That I'm going to give you some quick feedback to say, oh yes, that's a template that you're supposed to figure out. And then if you send me some stuff that's irrelevant, I'll say, okay, we're not ready for that until module 2, whatever the case may be. Now,
okay.
Did you learn something from answering the 8 biography questions? When I was
I did. I learned a lot about the 8 biography questions. It's just like I said, I have a lot of content and stuff as far as, places I've gone and things I've done, because I've done the EAP work for 25, 30 years plus.
Yes, ma'am.
So putting all of this stuff in, I've done a lot of the stuff that we're talking about. As for in the media, I've done that too. So I don't know if you just want me to bombard you with all of that stuff so you can select what the best way to
Not right now.
Put it together.
I'm glad you said that. Not right now. Remember, I want you to now, Eileen, you suffer from one of the same. It's the same thing that a lot of our coaching students suffer from. Is you're multi-talented and you're like super smart. Right? You're going to have your day in the sun with all that content that you have. You're going to get a chance to use every last bit of it. But I want you to watch this. You have a relator and a thinker trait in your personality. So you over process, like you want to press the gas like real fast. Now I understand you have the limitations with the technology. So don't worry about that. We will work around that. Even if you got to just email it to me directly, then I want you to do that, which you've been doing. So remember, one of the drawbacks of when you're a thinker is that you're going to overanalyze it. And you're gonna suffer from what I call analysis of paralysis. You're gonna think about so much and get overwhelmed that you're gonna wind up not doing anything. So I want you to focus on one thing at a time. Right now, all I care about is the signature program template and the bio template. If you send me the answers to all of that stuff back over, I'll review it. And then I'll say, okay, Eileen, all this stuff is great. I'm going to tweak it. I'm going to create some better word sequences, just clean up the languaging. But Eileen, I'm not really worried about that with you because you already speak very beautifully. And I'm not worried about your elocution and your oratorical skills. And I know that you're a subject matter expert. I know you know what you're talking about. You just give me the technical stuff that needs to go in there, and then I'll clean it up on my end. And then watch this. Here's what's important. And I got to say this to a lot of you other overthinkers out there as well, is that it's important that you focus on one thing at a time throughout the curriculum. Focus on the action item. The biggest thing in module 1 is get the signature programs complete and finish the bio. Okay. Nothing else is more important than that in module 1. You got it?
Okay. I needed that because I do overthink it, then I get stuck.
Yes, ma'am. But Eileen,
this is the third time I did the signature programs.
You know why? You know why, Eileen? Because watch this. It's a whole bunch of you out there. I'm not going to say your names, but you know who you are. You're trying to hold on to it and trying to make it right and change it and trying to improve the language. And just send it over to me.
Okay.
Don't keep changing it. Send it over to me because I'm going to change it anyway.
Okay.
Not all of it. I'm going to keep the best parts of what you give me, and I'm going to come up with word sequences that's going to be sellable and bookable language for your conference coordinator. Remember, Eileen, just if you have a bunch of stuff like your press, your media, in module 2, you're going to start working on all your sales tools and all that stuff you're telling me right now that you say, well, KT, I don't want to overwhelm you. You're not overwhelming me.
Okay.
You're going to save that stuff because I got some stuff from you. You sent me some articles. You sent me some pictures. You sent me some other stuff. When you start working on your speaker info kit, I'm going to say, oh, Eileen, we need every bit of that now.
Okay, because I sent videos too that I had.
Yes, ma'am. Don't worry. And we're going to get to those when the time is right and place them exactly where they're supposed to go. I'm going to critique you and say, okay, Eileen, I like that video right there. I don't like that one. I need you to take the very best of those 3 videos you sent me and make me 3 to 5 minutes of one of your signature programs or your mainstay headline. And then boom, your speaker video demo will be done as well.
Well, I look for the answer for that so I can get on to the other one. So because I needed to hear that,
Yes, ma'am. I got you covered.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. You're very welcome. Talk to you real soon. Okay. Last call for alcohol, everyone. We are wrapping up the call. Let me see. Is anybody, Eileen? No, I don't see any more questions in there. Okay. Well, remember on the Speaker Focus platform, what we are put here to do, what we are designed to do. Me and Austin put this thing together so we could facilitate questions like this, because in the marketplace, there's not really a lot of platforms that is going to let you get access to the people that have all the knowledge. You can get access to the people that make a whole lot of money, but very rarely are you going to get the people to make the money and have the knowledge to walk you step by step and tell you everything you're supposed to be doing. You got to kind of be special to do that. You got to want to serve people to do that. So as you see these illustrations of service that me and Austin are on the group calls every single week and, pouring out our hearts on here, we expect you to go out and do the same thing with your clients. It's not about hitting your client with a bunch of razzle dazzle. You're going to do enough of that in your sales tools. I mean, we have so many talented people on our platform. I mean, what Eileen blew me away when I had my first conversation with her. I knew that she could do this at a very, very high level. I wasn't concerned about that. And I'm not concerned about that with a lot of you. A lot of you are great speakers. A lot of you got vision. A lot of you have a message inside of you. I know what you want to do. A lot of you came in here on fire. We're not worried about that stuff. Me and Austin are here for the stuff that you don't know how to do well. And if I were you, I'd be binge watching module 5. If I were you, I would act like module 5. This is my personal recommendation to all of you. If I were you, I would look at module 5 so many times that I would act like it was a script. And I was getting ready to go in for the biggest role of my life, and I was a Hollywood actor. And I would literally try to memorize every single thing and memorize every strategy of module number 5, because module 5 will get you all the money. I know you need all these other tools, but believe me, I have to deal with this with Auston every day. The only thing that matters is you building a marketing machine where you don't have to worry about how many leads you're going to be getting. Now, Auston has a free outreach strategy and he has a paid outreach strategy. There is no excuse on our platform for you not to be reaching out and attracting 20 to 50 conference coordinators every single day, interviewing them, doing a needs assessment with them, and finding out if you are a good fit for their organization. I'm telling you right now, Module 5 has it all in there. You'll binge watch Netflix. How many episodes of Good Times do we need to see? How many episodes of Friends and Cheers do we need to see? I don't know. It's very entertaining, but entertain me for a second. Tell me that you're going to keep going over this information and that you got it, because at the end of the day, this is what's going to get you paid. Everybody talks about getting to the money. Well, you're not going to get to the money first until you educate yourself. And this is what the Speaker Focus platform is all about. We're very proud of it. It's never been done before in the history of business. And it's probably never going to be. Thank you, Brian. Excellent presentation tonight as usual. Brian says, word, Brian. I love Brian, man. He is so cool. So look, we just did our jobs. Everyone has a job to do. We're living out the full manifestation of our purpose. We haven't even grown into ourselves. We're still babies with Speaker Focus. And to be number one and after, almost, 4 or 5 years in the marketplace, says a lot about our work ethic, but we're not even scratching the surface of what we're capable of doing. That means we're going to keep making the platform better. We're going to keep being here for you. We're going to keep answering your questions. We're going to keep replying through when you upload your homework assignments in school. We're going to keep spending the one-on-one time with you that's needed after you do the part with absorbing the content in the online modules, in the audio modules, and looking at the master classes. We do these master classes because, again, whenever we get feedback, I said, oh, okay. Oh, that's what's going on. We're not perfect. So when I see that our platform is languishing or our students are not getting the most out of the user experience, the first thing comes to my mind is not ignore you. The first thing comes to my mind is, oh, we should do a masterclass on that. And we got a long list of topics of stuff that we want you to improve on or ways to break it down. Remember, if you're not learning, it is not your fault. That's my fault. If it's a process that we have and you feel like it's too hard, send us a direct message and watch how we simplify it more. We do it all the time. I told you, I just upgraded the speaker, the signature program template. The easy way is what it's called. The signature program template, in parentheses, it says the easy way. Because I realized you were running into some resistance. You don't know sometimes that your product is going to run into resistance until you put it into the market. When we put it into the market and we consistently are simplifying processes, we all got to hold each other accountable. If it's something you don't like on our platform, all you got to do is let me and Auston know. And you can bet your bottom dollar it's going to get fixed, and we're going to figure out a way to improve the process. Now, when you tell us that, oh, that's easier, coach. Oh, KTR, yeah, I got it now. When the majority says they got it, we're going to keep sticking with it. But we're not going to see, we're not like public school. We're not going to leave you behind like they did me. I was a C- or C+ student at times when I was in school. Maybe I had a couple of years when I was a B+ student overall with my grade point average. I was a C student, but I always excelled in English, art, and music, always. If I could write it or draw it or paint it, I was going to get an A. Ain't no question about that. But we don't leave anybody behind. And that's the goal on the Speaker Focus platform. On behalf of our wonderful staff and our ever expanding team at Speaker Focus and my co-founder, my family, Auston Troyer, co-founder of speakerfocus.com. This is the world's #1 platform for speaker marketing, ladies and gentlemen, and we are absolutely thrilled to bring you this information every single week. I'm the world's #1 speaker coach, Kevin T. Robertson. I love you. Have a great evening. I see you right here, same place next time, next week.